Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Excuse my voice, first of all. I've got a bit of a cold at the minute. Just thought I'd make a quick video on the handicap fancies that I've got at the moment. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first horse that I'm going to go over here, as you can see on the screen, is Balamide Picton. This is his run at Sandown. You can see there, this is just before a circuit out. He jumps up to the front. Eventually, what we'll do if we fast forward this one here, so he's currently entered in the Ultima and the Brown. I think he'll most likely go to the Ultima, but non-runner no bet. You can back either or. If we just quickly fast forward here to just before the pond fence, so he's leading all the way through, jumping well there. And if you just watch here, he comes around the corner, starts to get the nudge along. Obviously, this being over 3 miles, he hadn't ridden in about 15 months, I think it was. So, a long old layoff. The race before, interestingly, actually, he came runner-up to wait impatiently by a couple of lengths. So that looks like half-decent form there. He went off favourite here as well. If you just see, makes an error there. Looks like he's probably already beaten anyway. But being a first run for 15 months, you can expect that. He's entered with the Ultima. Venetia's also got the Yala Enkai in there, I believe. But I'm not sure if he'll go there. He usually likes to run a bit further than 3 miles. But yeah, no, I think this one's a bit of an underdog. He was running well, he was jumping well last time at Sandown until that. And you can let him off that with such a long break. Obviously, these handicaps are about finding the value, finding something big. If you knock in one horse at 20, 25 to 1, that'll pay for you the whole week, won't it? So yeah, that's the first one. We move on to the next one. So the next horse we're going to look at here is Tower Bridge for the Close Brothers. He's not actually on the screen there yet, but he will show up in a moment. He's running 4th for most of this race against the Duc de Genève, who's at the front there. He's now been backed in Fiacre quite a bit, quite questionably, if you ask me. But Tower Bridge, he's going to be carrying 11 stone 8 in the Close Brothers. I believe about a week or so ago, Joseph O'Brien was quoted saying it's one of his best ones for handicaps. At that point, he was 16 to 1. I think he's now around about 10, something like that. Still a half decent price, but as you can see here, just to the right hand side in the JP colours, he does run on. He doesn't jump brilliantly at the moment. That is one thing that Joseph has said he needs to improve on. But he did come, I think it was 4th or 5th, I think it was 5th in the Albert Bartlett last year at the festival. So he has got the experience there. He shouldn't be sort of too concerned by the big field. Yeah, and I think he could run well. I believe he's around about 10 to 1 or so at the moment. So one of the more favoured ones in the handicaps this year. But yeah, he should run into, hopefully, at least a place. So the next one that we're going to look at here is probably the most unoriginal of them all, as Azure Adel. So he's currently got 3 entries at the moment. So he's got the Coral Cup, he's got the County Hurdle, which I don't think he'll go to, and he's also got the Martin Pipe. So I sort of had him all teed up for the Coral Cup originally. I backed him somewhere in between this race and just before his last one at Leopardstown. So this is him picking up 90 odd grand with the second in the Cesar, which I think he was only about half a length down in the end, which is obviously a very good run. He's then been moved over hurdles by Willie Mullins. He's had one run there. That was in the Ladbrokes. That should come up here in just a second. He's obviously one that's been talked about by a lot of people in the previews, and he does look like he's well in, so wherever he goes, he should give a good old run of it. But as you can see here, he is still quite a way back, so he's probably back in 9th or 10th here. This one being only over 2 miles, but as they do come round the final bend, he does stay on. If you just keep an eye on him in the middle to left of the picture, the purple and the yellow, he does have to weave, so he's going in left-handed there. He finally gets past a couple of horses, thinks he might have to go right, and then he goes left again, trying to get round those Gigginstown horses. But yeah, no, I think he's got a really good chance wherever he ends up. It's probably going to be the Martin Pipe. The extra distance will suit him there as well with the staying on. But yeah, let's move on to the last one. So the 4th and final horse that we're going to talk about here is the Gordon Elliott trained Lethal Steps. Now, I've popped up on the screen there, he's entered in for the Boodles. He's actually got plenty of entries. I think he was entered at one point for the Supreme, the Ballymore, the Boodles, which obviously the Fred Winter it was, the Triumph, the Martin Pipes. I think he had those 5 entries. I think he probably could have gone to the Supreme or the Ballymore if it had shown a bit more over hurdles. He hasn't really shown much at the moment, to be honest. So if I just throw up on the screen here, this is the pair of maiden hurdles that he's finished in. The first one was over 2 miles, which I thought he didn't do too bad. And then if we go to Punchestown here, he's been stepped up to 2 mile 4. Now, I just don't think he stayed this 2 mile 4 at this stage of his career. It looks like he was just a bit knackered when they started pushing on into the last few furlongs. The one thing I really like about him, he was rated 102 on the flat. I think he finished his about 99 on the flat, but he was at one point he was rated 102. He's been given a mark of 131 for this, so 10 stone 8 is what he's going to carry. I think that's underestimating him. From what he's shown, the level that he ran to on the flat, I think he could be a lot better than that. He could make that mark look very silly in the end, and I think he could run to something probably half a stone to a stone better than that if he's at his best. But yeah, no, that's the last one, and that's probably my best one of the week, I imagine. Yeah, anyway, so those are the 4 that I fancy. I'll pop them all up on the screen now as well, just as a recap. By all means, come over, follow me on Twitter, My Tent or George. I'll put that up on the screen as well. That's where most of the racing chat goes on. There's plenty of us that get involved. I will be going down to Cheltenham for the Tuesday and the Wednesday, so I'll keep it all updated on there. And I have got a sort of sheet of everything that I've backed up into the festival up till now, so I might make a video on that as well if it's something you might be interested in. Okay, but yeah, no, that's all. So enjoy the festival. Hopefully we can get a few winners. 1 or 2 of these go in. It'd be absolutely lovely, I must admit. Okay, yeah, cheers guys. See you later. Bye.